同学们好. So welcome, old friends and new friends. Actually, a special shout out. There are a couple of people who can't actually be in class at the moment who are going to be following along on YouTube. So shout out to Laura and Ronald. So today we are class 11. It's the 25th of January. So we're in the last lap. We're in the fourth chunk of the third section. We'll be doing step up 7 stars. Excuse me. Dita, have you done the third section before? Yeah, I thought so. Good. So we're all familiar with the third section. So this is going to be review for all of us. So let us begin, as I always do, with standing practice. And since 7 stars is actually an empty stance, we'll practice empty stance in a bit. But let's just start in our normal pole stance. So feet shoulder width apart, a bit wider, feet parallel. Bend at the knees, arms rounded in front of you. Do your posture checks, head up, shoulders sinking, elbows dropping. Absorb the chest, round the back. Relax the waist. And feel your weight evenly on your feet. So the same amount of weight on the balls and the heels of your feet, so neither too much on the front or too much on the back. Also the same amount of pressure left, right, round your crotch. And so we've done these checks. It's really to help us open and extend all the joints in our body so that we can soften the body. And one of the things that helps is with our breathing. So switch your attention to your abdomen, and as you breathe in naturally, see if you can observe your abdomen expanding. As you breathe out, abdomen contracts. And as you do this, see, normally we use the posture to make the breathing easier. So today, as you observe your breath in and out, see what you could do with your posture to make the breath easier. So is there something you can adjust, for example, the angle of your pelvis, your waist angle, to make that breath smoother and easier? And we'll do 30 seconds more. Once you get past about, I find about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, your body starts talking to you. Things will just click, things will just change. And you'll start finding that your posture gets better just from spending time here. And release. So today we're going to be doing an empty stance. So before we'll do standing practice in empty stance for a few minutes. Hey Tessie, great to see you, and Judy's with us as well. Hey Judy. So let's just review empty stance. You all know this, but it's always worth reviewing. So in Young style, the feet are usually either parallel, or one is to the front direction and the other one is off by 45 degrees. And that's true for all but one posture in the hand form that we're doing. So sink down on one foot to the corner, put the other foot down, ball touch. So this is an empty stance ball touch. So one foot straight, one foot to the corner. Feel that your whole weight starts off, your hips are over the back leg. So sink your hips over the back leg. Don't have your hips forward like this. Have your hips going straight down over the back foot. We want to have 70% in the back foot, 30% in the front. To do that, fold forward at the hip crease. Don't move your hips forward, but fold at the hip to actually bring your center of gravity forward a little bit. And the shape of the legs, so the back leg is bent as much as is comfortable for you, and it's fine if the knee is past the toe. The front leg is straight but not locked. So it's not like this and it's not like this either. It's straight with just a little bit of a bend in it. And make sure that when you're in this posture, you have push and support. So you can feel that if you were to push forwards from the back foot, the front ball of your foot has enough root that it'll stop you and can push back. So now let's just practice that as standing practice for just a minute, minute and a half each. So perform an empty stance. Back foot to the corner, front foot straight to the front, center line two sides. So a line to the outside of your back heel, past the front foot. Arms rounded. You're looking, your nose is in the direction of the front foot. Turn your chest to the corner. Keep your nose to the front. You might feel a little bit of a stretch in your neck. Let's do our checks. So empty, light, pushing up, energetic. That's the top of our head, pushing up. Sink the shoulders, drop the elbows. Absorb the chest round the back, and that we do by pulling out at the elbows from the spine and then pull the fingertips from the elbows. Relax the waist, and so make sure that you're sinking straight down into the back foot, 70% on the back, 30 on the front. Again, head up, shoulders down, elbows down. Absorb the chest round the back. Relax the waist. And let's change. So pick up the front foot, put it down to 45 degrees. Change feet. Nose to the front, chest to the corner. 70 on the back, 30 on the front. A slight lean forward so that you can root. In other words, get a nice engagement of the ball of the foot. Head up, shoulders sinking, elbows dropping. Absorb the chest, nice big round circle. But you want it to be soft, not limp, but not stiff either. Relax the waist. What you might find is that what you do with your lower back is different here than it is when you're standing in with your feet parallel, just because of the way the body is arranged. Let's change to the first side again. Nose to the front, chest to the corner, slight fold forward. And now observe your breath. So the mouth is closed, tongue at the roof of the mouth, teeth gently touching. As you breathe in, see if your belly opens up. As you breathe out, your abdomen contracts. This is quite a fair amount of work, so I don't know where people are. Let's change. And always, if I suggest we do a practice and you're uncomfortable, listen to your body. Don't listen to me. And stop at any time if anything doesn't feel right. Head up, shoulders sinking. Everything, your head is, feel the crown of your head pulling up. From the neck on down, everything is hanging down. Feel the heel and the ball of your back foot. So all the weight, except for 30%, which is on the front ball of the foot. You're folding forward slightly at the hip crease. Shoulders sinking, elbows dropping. Absorb the chest. Relax the waist. And relax. Very good. So we will, and Marion's joined us. Hey, Marion. So we are going to be working on the fourth chunk. Let us start with the second chunk and go all the way through the third chunk, which we finished last week, and the beginning of the fourth. So we're not going to do the first part of the first section, which is embrace tiger, diagonal single whip, parting wild horses, mane, fair lady work shuttles to single whip. We're going to skip that. So we're going to start in single whip after all that. So we're in single whip. We're going to go into the second chunk, which is cloud hands, snake creeps down. Cloud hands. 1, 2, 3, 'single whip. Snake creeps down. Golden rooster stands on one leg. 1, 2. Step back, repulse monkey. 1. So this is a long stretch, which is a repeat 2 from the second section with one little wrinkle. 3. Diagonal flying. 'Raise hands. Step forward. White crane spreads its wings. Left brush knee. Just going to reset. Needle at the C bottom. Fan through the back. And here's the change. Turn body. White snake spits out its tongue. Parry, block, and punch. Step up, grass bird's tail. Roll back. Press. Push. Single whip. So this gets us to the end of the second chunk. And we'll go into the third chunk, which is cloud hands, high path on horse, and so on. Cloud hands. 1, 2, 3. Single whip. High pat on horse. And here's a change. Thrust palm. So now a couple of new movements. Turn body, cross kick. Step forward, punch to the groin. Step up, grass bird's tail. Ward off right. Roll back. Press. Push. Single whip. This single whip is the end of the third chunk. We now go into the last chunk, which starts with snake creeps down. No cloud hands here, so snake creeps down. and stop. So from there is the new movement that we're going to be doing today, which is step up 7 stars. So are there any questions about any of that? I'd like to watch you practice. It's lovely to watch you and see. Actually, one of the things which I'm seeing in what we're all doing is I'm really seeing one of the essential principles is distinguish empty and full, which is weight shifting from one leg to the other. I'm really seeing that weight shift. I can't see everybody's feet, but it looks pretty good in terms of footwork as well. So let me just talk about a few of the movements. We'll spend most of the next 20 minutes just concentrating on um, the last movement we did last week, which is punch to the groin, which is a pretty simple movement. Okay, so I'm going to go quite quickly. I'm going to mention corrections. If you remember just one of them, if just one of them resonates with you, just work with that one. Don't feel you need to remember everything I say because different people are working with different issues at any given time. There any who'd like me to, if I see them doing something, if I have a habit, should I call out their name? Because most people don't like, yes, Veronica, okay, and Judith, okay, fine, good. And so, and Marion, Veronica and Judith and Marion. Oh, and Rebecca and Tessie as well. Wow, okay, fine, good. And if I forget, my apologies. Okay, cloud hands. So the first thing that I want to make sure we get right, and Judy, this is one for you, is we're in single whip. Cloud hands, the front hand is going to come to the right and then it's going to go across. So it doesn't come high, it's just coming across and then it goes. Something which we all struggle with a lot for years and years and years is um, the the movement of the arm. One of the things which I'm seeing, which is really nice, I'm seeing the arm coordination. We all seem to have the arm coordination and they're moving beautifully together, which is like playing the piano, which I can't do. It's like both hands at the same time. Now, to fine tune, you're starting with this hand in ward off, grab, pull, turn over. Comes to the front, ward off, grab, pull, turn over. What I'm seeing some of us do is more just a sort of the arm just goes out to the side and then comes back. So I'd like you to think about, let's try the other side, ward off. The arm rotates into a grab, then you're going to pull down, then it's going to turn over. So there's actually a couple of distinct movements going on here. And adding those kinds of things as we go will really help you feel the application of this. Okay, snake creeps down. Veronica, this is one for you, I think. When we do snake creeps down, it's a question of weight distribution. So we're going to go, the first thing is we're going to go back. Then we're going to sink down, however much you can sink, which might be very little at all. And then we're going to go down our leg. We are not shifting our weight to the middle. So stay in the back when your arm goes down. And if you don't have any tilt here, that's fine. Don't do it. Don't shift your weight forward to here. Keep your weight in the back. The other things, a few of us, I just wanted to underline is the coordination of the arm with the weight shift. So let's just work through that. So we are in single whip. 1, open the back foot to the corner, nothing changes. 2, as you shift your weight back, the left hand comes to the shoulder. As you sink down, the left hand goes to the hip. As you go forward, the left hand goes down the leg. The right arm is essentially just hanging out there. It's like maintaining its position. So the left hand is going to make pretty much a smoothed out C shape. It's going to start here, open the back foot. It's going to come in as the weight goes in, sink as the weight sinks, and down the leg as you go down the leg. So just try and make those, think about those three parts as distinct parts and then smooth them out. Okay. Right. Okay, high pat on horse. One of the things which some of us, and I can't always see your hands, so I just wanted to make sure we're all in sync about the parts and pieces for high pat on horse. So we're starting in single whip, torso vertical. So one, as you shift your weight back, the right hand, this one, is going to sit. So you're going to go from your hook to a sitting hand. You've shifted your weight back, your toe is still on the ground, your left toe is still on the ground. Then as you keep shifting back, you bring your toe up, the hand comes into the shoulder. Then you bring in the left toe and strike out. So the coordination again is from single whip, shift back weight, rotate the arms, the right palm sits, left palm is now pointing up. Keep shifting back, lift the left toe, right palm in front of the shoulder. Change footwork and strike out. Okay. A few of us, I just want to check that when you have done this strike out, your left hand, for me, is just, my ribs end here. So it's almost touching my last rib. And my arm is at essentially a diagonal. So my arm is not straight to the side, and it's not straight to the back. If you want to look at it from this angle, it's not to the back and it's not to the side, it's in between. And the reason we do that, if you think about what we were doing to begin the class, it's this sinking shape. Next one. Yes, Tessie, this one I think is one for you. As we go from high pat into thrust palm, so we do high pat on horse, thrust palm, make sure that your right hand is high. I'll do it the other side. You can see better. And it may, you know, I see folks do things and it may just be you had a brain freeze just that one time and you never do this any other time. So forgive me. So step out, right arm comes in, left arm goes out. The right arm is high. It's not here, it's here. And the reason why it's doing that is if you think about what you did, you know, you struck to your opponent, you were grabbing them here. What you're going to do is you're going to hold their arm as you thrust out. So you're actually holding their arm with your right hand. Okay, next one, the kick. There's a couple of things I noticed, and I just wanted to make sure, Rebecca, this may be a habit that you have, is when we kick, the arms go out and they just stay there. The leg comes back. It's not, I'll kick in this, kick in the diagonal direction. We don't kick and bring the arms back up. So there isn't a bounce at the end. It's just out and it stops. The other one, this is not an issue that you're having at the moment, Rebecca, is some of us seem to have our arms very straight with the kicks. So when we've done the kick, the arm has a slight bend in it. Yes, that's looking really nice. And the palm is what we call sitting. So it's not in line with your forearm, it's actually sitting a little bit. So it's not like this, it's sitting here, pointing in. Yes, that looks really nice, Veronica, Rebecca, yeah, that looks great too. So Judy, I think can you bend your elbows slightly? Just bend your elbows, maybe more than you think, perhaps. Yes. And drop your elbows a little so that your palms are at shoulder height. Yeah, oh, beautiful. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Do it that way. Yeah, yeah. All right. Um, now, before we go on to just review punch to the groin, which is the new movement from last week, are there any questions about any of the stuff that we've just talked about? Go ahead, Judy. You're muted.
For some reason, when we did the run through, I must have missed a turn body because I ended up in the wrong direction. I'm not sure where that came. It could have been where you turn body and kick, or turn body and punch to groin. But
yeah, I think it was the kick. There's in the second section, there's a turn body. So in the second section, after we've done punch down, in the second section, there's a
yes.
turn body chop with fist, but we don't have that in this section. I think your diagnosis was right, Judith. It was after thrust palm. We actually turn so that we end up having turned 180 degrees to the other side.
Okay.
That was the one. You got it.
Think that's
you got it. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Punch to the groin. So let's just review punch to the groin. Yeah. So that would be the front direction. We've done turn body, cross kick. So punch to the groin. The footwork first. We're going to sit, step, center line two sides. So there's a line between, the inside of this heel and the inside of the other heel. We're going to shift our weight forward, step through into a bow stance, and then perform the bow stance, and then we're going to do the punch. The one thing I will remind you of, and this is sort of a tip for the ages, actually it'll come up again today when we do 7 stars. When you sink, when you shift your weight forward, move your weight in the direction that your foot is pointing. So you're actually not going in the direction to that would be the east, the left side, 9 o'clock. Don't go straight in that direction. You don't have support there. Move your weight in the direction of the front foot so that you can put your weight on your front foot and then step out. Okay? So then let's talk about the arm movements. So we've done the kick, bend knee, sit, step. We're going to rotate the right arm, and the left arm is going to come around and protect in front of us as we step through. We're going to make a fist. You can't see this. I'll turn around in a second. The left arm is then going to brush in front of us, and we're going to punch down. So let me turn around and do it this way, and then I'll do it to the front. Okay, so we've done the right heel kick. Sit, step. This arm is going to protect in front of you. It's nice, big, and round. Some of us actually have the arm in here. Make sure that you've got a nice, big space here. This is a fist. You're at the right hip. Step through, heel touch. Now, imagine that you've got your opponent's arm. You're pulling it out of the way as you punch to the groin here. Let's do that together again. So we've done the right heel kick, standing on the left leg. Sink, step, center line two sides. With weight shifting in the direction of the right foot, the right toe. Left arm comes around, right hand makes a fist by the right hip. Root, arm protecting in front of your body. Now shift your weight forward, pull wide to the side with the left arm and punch to the groin. Tilt your upper body enough that your fist is roughly your own groin height. I'll do it in this direction. We've done the right heel kick. Sit, step, center line to sides. Circle, nice big circle with the left hand. Step through, root with the left heel. Now pull to the left with the left arm and punch. Observe the left hand. So the left hand is sort of just a bit in front of my left knee, and it's the usual position for our left, for the down arm. Relax your arm, bend your elbow a bit, bend your wrist a bit. Fingertips are pointing straight ahead. That's what you want your left hand to be. Right hand is a fist connecting here. So if you can make a nice flat fist, it'll be like that. The last thing to talk about is gaze. So the gaze is quite straightforward, but there's a temptation. So our opponent is in front of us. So your gaze is going to stay in front of you. So we've done the kick. Up, right heel kick. Sit, step, circle the left arm. Now the temptation is because your left arm is going to the right that you look to the right. Don't succumb to temptation. Just don't look past your left, still to the front. Step through and punch. And as you're punching, your head will be down a little bit. You're not completely up, but make sure you still have that sense of empty light pushing up and energetic. Your crown of your head is still being pulled up. Okay, so let us do one more movement, which is the transition. But before I do the transition, are there any questions about that? Then I'll watch. Okay, so the transition is a pretty standard transition. We've done punch to the groin. We're going to go into grass bird's tail. So we're in a left bow stance, left hand by the left knee, the right hand is punching. So one, lift your torso up, both arms open, come up a bit. Then with waist turning, turn your left toe out, left hand goes out, the right hand, which you can't see here, is diagonally out to the other side. The arms circle as you go into grass bird's tail, ward off right. Let me go in this direction. So we've done punch to the groin. So one, shift weight back, straighten the arms. Two, open the left toe, open the left palm, and the right palm is at the right fist is sort of at the diagonal. As you shift your weight forward, you're going to grab with the left hand, and the right hand is going to open. So grab, step through, ward off, right. So let's do those two movements together. We're going to start at right heel kick. Imagine we've finished our right heel kick. Punch to the groin. Sit. Step, center line to side. Shift your weight in the direction of the right toes. Big circle with the right arm in front of you. Heel touch with the left. Brush with the left. And punch. Step up, grass bird's tail. Straighten up your torso, arms lift slightly. Open the arms as the left toe opens. Grab with the left hand, open the right hand. Now, grass bird's tail, ward off, right. And again. We've done a right heel kick. We're standing on the left leg. Sink, step, punch to the groins. Big circle with the right hand, the left hand, the right hand comes to the right hip. Step out. brush with the left hand, and push, punch. Yes, nice correction, Tessie. Step up, grasp bird's tail. Straighten up slightly, arms straighten. Now as the left toe turns out, turn over both hands. Shift your weight through, grasp bird's tail. One more. We've done the right heel kick. We're on the left leg. Sink, step, circle with the arm, heel touch, and punch to the groin. Step up, grasp bird's tail. Straighten up a bit. Both arms open. Grab with the left, right arm, open the palm. Step through and ward off right. Yes, that's looking really nice. And finish. So the one thing that I just want to, I saw a couple of folks, I'm not sure about the camera angle, so I just wanted to check, or that you can check for yourself. So when you're in ward off right, the first thing to check is that your right upper arm and your right thigh are in line. The next thing is that your fingertips are about shoulder height. So your elbow is lower than your palm. And make sure that your forearm is actually straight. Yes, that's looking really nice. And then the left hand is about a fist width behind the right, behind and below. So it's here. Yeah, so make sure that you, and actually as you're in this position, think about what we were doing earlier, shoulders down, elbows down. So make sure that you're not hiking up your shoulders. Just breathe out, think. All right, that's looking very nice. Okay, good. Any questions?
I
Yes,
have a
go on.
question on the way the hand, both the left and the hand, right angles move on grasp the bird's tail.
That is a very good question, Veronica, and something we spend a lot of time on. Okay, so let me start in this direction. So let me just check that I have it right. So the question is, what are we doing here? Is that the question?
Yes, the
Okay.
practicalities would help there.
Okay, I'll try. Okay. So we've done punch to the groin. One, we're just going to lift up and the arms are going to straighten, right? So we are here. One, we're just going to lift up and the arms are going to straighten a little bit. So your arms are both like pointing, I don't know, 20 degrees down. Okay. Now, as I open my left foot, two things are going to happen. My left arm is going to open up and my right fist is going to be diagonal. So it's going to be diagonally like that. So I'm going to keep my pen here so you can actually see the angle, right? So I was here, I was punching down here. I come up, and as I open, you can see my fist is at a very nice, Veronica. Yep, that's right. So it's starting vertical, and then as you open, it's at the diagonal. And yes, now what's going to happen is just think about your right hand. Open the fist and drop the hand so that when it's here, your palm is facing backwards. Then it's going to lift up into ward off right. So you're going to start here. It's going to pull down. It's going to open this to the back, and it's going to lift up. There's a frown there, Judy. What, do you have a question?
Does it not only lifts up, but it makes a curve, doesn't it?
It makes a curve. Yes,
Okay.
it does. Yep, because it's all circles. So we have to find the circle. So what we're doing here after we've done punching up is it's going to go in a big circle like this. And actually from the side, you can see another angle on the circle. It's going to go like that.
So is it more like that push or
Uh,
anything like that or not?
Actually, it's the place to actually think about is the transition from ward off left to ward off right. Right, the second and third movements in the form. So you've done ward off left here. Shift your weight back, turn the left toe in. Now you're going to pull to the left with the left arm, and the right arm is going to drop. And your right palm is going to be in exactly the same shape that we've now been talking about. So let me face in this direction. So I've done ward off left here. Going into ward off right, shift weight slightly to the right, pivot on the right heel. Now, as I pull to the left, you can see I'm dropping my right hand. So my right hand is now in this position. My left hand is in this position, open, and then it's going to close, ward off right. So we're actually reusing the same arm movement from the beginning of the first section right here in the third section.
Thank you. Helps.
Okay, let us move on. By the way, I hope some of you might have a few minutes afterwards to stay. I'd love to start getting your thoughts about what we do when we finish this section, because probably we'll finish at the end of February, early March. So start thinking about what we might do next. Okay, so we've done snake creeps down. So we're at the end of snake creeps down, and let me just show you the movement. So we're in snake creeps down. It's called step up 7 stars. Shift the weight forward, go back to the starting position, open the left toe, step through, root, and push out. This is step up 7 stars. There's various explanations for why 7 stars. The one I like is there are apparently in Chinese medicine, people talk about 7 body parts: head, and then 3 shoulders, elbows, hands, 3, and then waist, knees, and feet. So that's 7. And so when you do this movement, you're actually showing all of them. People can see all of them. Okay, so let us let's talk through the movements. You'll see that there are similarities to Golden Rooster. It's very similar to Golden Rooster, but there are a few interesting changes. So you'll remember that when we've done snake creeps down, I call this one 0. So it's just coming back to single whip. So we're just going to start after having done this, right? So footwork. We're going to open the left toe. We're going to shift our weight forward. And again, now, remember, move your weight in the direction that your left foot is pointing so that you don't fall over. So move your weight forward. You're going to go into an empty stance, ball touch. So this is actually an easier one than what we did with Golden Rooster, which was going through here and standing up. So this is actually simpler. So let's just do the footwork together a couple of times. So we're in a bow stance. 1, open the left toe. 2, move the weight through, ball touch, empty stance. And that's it. One more time. Starting in a left bow stance. Open the left toe. Shift the weight in the direction of the left toe. Bring the right leg through, ball touch, empty stance. The next thing is the arm movements. There are 2 arms for all of us, actually, in this class. So I'll talk about the 2 arms separately. So the first one is the left arm. So from here, I'm going to open. This is just the same as we did with Golden Rooster. As I open with my waist turn, my body turn, the left toe, I'm also going to turn and open my left arm. So 1, right? 1, 1. Now you're going to move your weight forward. What I want you to try and remember more or less is that this part, your left hand is going to stay where it is in space. You're going to move your body closer, which means your elbow is going to bend, but your hand isn't going to move much in space. Then you're going to make a fist, and at the end, the arm is going to straighten. So let's do the left arm again. 1, open. 2, start shifting forward your weight, close your chest into your fist, make a fist, and then the left arm extends out. That will make a lot more sense when we add the right arm. So let's start here. We've come up from snake creeps down. So 1, nothing happens. 2, we're going to drop this right arm. When the right leg passes the left, it's going to be by the side of your hips. As your right foot comes forward, it's going to come forward and it's going to punch up. So from here, 1, open, nothing happens. 2, shift forward. When your right foot is by your left heel, the right hand is about by your middle body, then it's going to come through and block up. Let's put these two together, and then I'll show the application with Susan that hopefully will help you practice it and make more sense of it. But let's just do the movement. Let's add the 2 arms together before we do the application. So we've done snake creeps down. We've come back up to single whip. 1, open the left toe, grab with the left hand. 2, shift forward weight, right hand comes down, and then step out and go forward. Now here I have to talk about the coordination of the upper and the lower body. You're going to touch with the toe. When you have a root with your front foot, you're going to move your body forward and the arms forward here. So remember when we kept the left arm where it was to here, now move the body forward and extend the arms. Let me show you what that means in practice. Thank you. Okay. So actually, it might be easier the other way around. So there are a couple of ways of thinking about what this movement means. So our arms are crossed. We'll talk about the details of the hands in a second. Don't worry about that yet. So one is Susan is just going to punch to me, and I'm just going to deflect up. Susan, why don't you come in from there? Yeah. So Susan's going to come in. I'm going to deflect up. So I'm essentially just catching her arm between my crossed arms and lifting up. And in fact, there's 2 movements happening here again. I'm going from down to up and from back to forwards. So that's one movement. We often, in the form, you get 2 for the price of 1. So one movement actually can have multiple technical applications or martial art meanings. The other one is a punch with this fist. So one way of thinking about that is I'm grabbing Susan here. This turn, remember when we opened, is actually a grab. So I'm holding Susan here so that she can't go anywhere and punching to the face. So there's actually this punch here. However, you can also do it from snake creeps down. So let's think about snake creeps down. So snake creeps down, I'm going down here. You remember that we actually could do golden rooster, but I could also do punch. So actually this is the punch that we're doing. So this movement is a punch movement. It's also a deflect up movement. Thank you. So now that I've talked about the arms, let me just talk about the fine tuning of what we're doing here. So when we're in cross hands, you'll recall our arms cross sort of like the middle of the forearm, maybe a third of the way down. But here it's much closer to the wrist. So here it's crossing just behind the wrist. So not here, and also not here, but just behind the wrist. The second thing is we have this naming convention, which I imagine you all know. This is my fist eye. This is my fist tail. So when my hands are crossed, the fist eyes are looking at me. So I'm not like this or like this. I'm like this. It's so hard to do this in video. I'm not surprised you're frowning, Judy. Yeah. So yeah, that looks good. And then the last thing, some of you already got it, some of you I need to remind you, is that when you punch, when you look at this arm, how do we do this? Yes, it's slightly sitting. So it isn't a straight line from your forearm to the top of your palm. It's what we call sitting. So it's slightly like this. And that's because if you think about when you punch somebody, very often you cock your wrist slightly when you punch. Yeah, that looks great, Dita. Yep. Yes, nice, Tessie. Yep, that's exactly right. So let's practice that a few times. So we are in single whip. We've come up from snake creeps down. 1, open the left toe, pull to the left. 2, shift your weight forward, drop the right arm to the ribs. When your foot roots, push forward, arms extend. Again, single whip. 1, open the toes. 2, shift forward. When the right foot's by the left foot, the fist is by the ribs. Step through. When you have root, move your body forward and extend the arms. Again, from single whip. Shift back weight. Open. Shift forward. Step through. When you have root, arms are crossed. Shift forward your weight and extend your arms slightly. Again. 1, open the left toe, open the left hand. 2, move forward, bend the left arm slightly as the right elbow bends. Step through. When your right foot is rooted, move the body forward and extend the arms. Again. We're back up here after snake creeps down. 1, open the left toe, pull with the left hand. 2, come forward, right hand by the ribs. When you're rooted, body forward, arms extend. And stop. One of the things, go ahead, Judy.
I'm sorry. When does your left hand make a fist?
Okay. So my left hand makes a fist roughly at the same time that my right hand makes a fist. There's one. So here, as I'm making a fist with the right, I'm making a fist with the left so that they look symmetrical. I think there are people who talk about not making the fist until you're actually extending out. But that means your left hand won't be in a fist and your right hand will be in a fist, which just feels wrong to me. So I just make a fist at the same time as they come forward. A couple of things that I noticed I just wanted to mention. One is the path through space of the right arm. So the right arm is going to come down and come back up again. So it's just a circle down and up. You want to make sure that you have this up punch feeling and not sort of it's not a straight arm to the front here. It comes in and bends and then it straightens at the end. The last thing is, again, we go back to our empty stance. So when you've finished, you're in an empty stance. So remember that you keep 70% of your weight on the back. So when you move forward, don't move your hips forward. You can move your body forward and you can move your arms by straightening your arms, but don't move your hips forward because then you won't be 70-30 anymore. Okay, let's do those let's start at the beginning of the fourth section, which is single whip, snake creeps down, and 7 stars. So we are in single whip, beginning of the fourth chunk. Snake creeps down, yield forward, shift your weight back, left arm to the shoulder, down, left arm down, down the leg, left arm down the leg. 7 stars, 0, shift forward the weight, lift the left arm, right foot comes back to 45 degrees. 1, open the left toe, turn the left hand forward. 2, shift forward your weight. 3, root with the right foot and move your body forward, straightening the arms a bit. Again, we are in single whip. Snake creeps down, shift forward a bit, open the back toe, shift back, left hand back, down, left hand down, forward, left hand forward, down the leg. 7 stars, shift forward weight, close the back foot, step 0. Step 1, open the left toe, grab with the left hand, shift forward weight is 2, root 3, move forward and straighten the arms. And stop. Good. I have a few announcements. Thank you.
Thank you.